I'm here to talk about this week's readings, which are chapters 12, 13, 16, and 17. This week we talked about how to use language clearly, vividly, and appropriately. When presenting a speech, especially a persuasive speech, you want to use the correct words, enunciation, and you also want to deliver it appropriately. You should always try to use familiar words. Trying to use too many big words in a speech can be disastrous. You should really just use words that we use in everyday language. Trying to use big words to impress an audience sometimes does not pan out too well, especially if you pronounce it wrong or use the word wrong when trying to present your speech. We also talked about clutter. Sometimes we use phrases and words that don't need to necessarily be there in the speech. You're using too many words, basically. You can simplify your sentences by using, as I stated before, similar words that we use every day, familiar words, instead of using big words or phrases that don't necessarily need to be in the paragraph or page. Also, try to use imagery. Try to paint a picture for the audience to imagine when trying to present your speech. It not only adds a nice touch to your speech presentation, but it also kind of lets the audience view what you are talking about even better by trying to paint a vivid picture for them. Also, present your speech appropriately in certain occasions or events. I completely agree with that. You should only use you should only be able to present a speech in appropriate occasions, such as maybe you're doing a speech for graduation. You want to use the appropriate words. You want to make the speech make sense for the audience so that they can understand what you're talking about. Also, the delivery of speech, you should always use your hands. You should also have good posture. You should also speak in a loud voice. Pitch, we talked about pitch, volume. We also talked about pronunciation, pauses, when to use those, rates, things like that. All that's important in presenting your speech. Also, as I said, your body language is important as well. You don't want to stand there like a statue presenting a speech. It can be boring, and also people can get distracted by other things and not pay attention to your speech. Also, we talked about informative speech. Not informative, I'm sorry. We also talked about persuasion. We also did talk about informative speech. How to choose a topic, how to know what to write about, different tips on how to write speeches, such as those. We talked about objects, process, events, and concepts as well. All that is very important in presenting a speech. This week's readings seemed like a lot, but it was very informative. Once again, it gave us a lot of examples to fall back on, to view, so that we could understand better. And when you're reading these chapters, it's very simple. So this was a really good reading for this week. I did enjoy it. So that's basically it. That's basically all that we talked about this week. And thank you.